What's going on, everyone? This is EK1 Gaming, and today's video we're going to be looking at what changes I personally think should be made to the Dark Zone in Division 2. As you are all aware, the Dark Zone or PvP at the moment is very stale. It's very stagnant. It's not the best it's been. Division 1 servers at the moment are actually full when you go back into the Dark Zone on Division 1, which says something about the game when people are actually going back to the first game just to get their fix for PvP. Obviously, we had this issue from the start, really, with PvP. It's not really been up to scratch. It's not really been aimed at PvP players, if you must, considering that in the newest update to U8, they're going to be doing no changes to conflict, which is technically the PvP mode. The Dark Zone is PvP, yes, but it's also a PvE mode, which we need to remember as well. However, it seems that it's been forgotten that you can PvP in the Dark Zone, and our actual PvP area is conflict. But anyway, let's get right into it. The first change that I would make is bigger servers. Now, there was a comment from Mark of Blades. He asked people's opinions whether you should change this from 12 to 16. I originally thought no, because what I thought was, if I change to 16, then what will happen is we'll just get even more bugs, even more problems. So I'd rather they fixed it at 12. But I do understand why people want 16. I do want 16 players in the lobby, because obviously the more players, the more fun it is. However, you've got downfalls such as map size, so Dark Zone size, because the Dark Zone's tiny. 16 players, would it be too crowded? I don't know. But on top of that, you're looking at, okay, 16 players leaves you open to have some really good PvP action, but will it become more laggy, more desync, more issues if they add more people? Because let's get it right, they haven't done very well for 12 people. So my confidence is not very high in terms of upping that to 16. Now, the next thing I have been looking at, and I've really looked hard at this, of how would it be possible to keep everybody happy in the Dark Zone. And that's, when I mean everyone, I mean PvE players and PvP players. So the people that want to fight each other, and also the people that just want to kind of farm and have that as a farming area. So what I thought of is passive mode. Now, this, I have really done some thinking, so I'm probably going to like bore you with some sort of ideas here, but in terms of passive mode, I think that you should have a passive mode where when you go into the Dark Zone, you go into the checkpoint, you should be able to select passive mode. Now, passive mode would mean that you cannot be killed by rogue agents. You still appear on the same server, but you can't be killed by rogue agents. Now, their bullets go straight through you, okay? Now, the reason why their bullets would go straight through you is because you can't body block then people trying to kill rogues, so you can't multi-team and body block using passive mode. However, on the switch of that, you cannot do damage to rogue agents. So this is where it comes in, making it fair. There's no unfair advantage, because at the moment, if you go rogue, the whole server, including PvE players, at least the ones that are going to admit it, they will start shooting the rogue agents. However, they don't like it when rogue agents shoot them. So we need it fair, right? So passive mode, you can't shoot rogue agents, they can't shoot you. However, on top of this, you have to activate it before you go into the Dark Zone. To deactivate it, you have to then go back to a safe room or a checkpoint to then go into non-passive mode. So you can't do it on the fly. So you can't just decide, oh, actually, now I've got some good gear, I'm going to go passive mode. So in terms of gear, this is what I thought in terms of gear. So you'll remember on the old HVTs on Division 1, like high value targets, pretty much like bounties. So my idea and thinking is, when you are in passive mode, if you drop some exclusive DZ loot, so maybe exotics that are exclusive to the Dark Zone only, if you pick up one of those pieces of loot, you have to extract it, of course. As soon as you pick that up, you exit passive mode, And this is only for these exotic pieces of gear, okay? So any general gear is fine, but the exotic or PvP only or Dark Zone only gear highlights you on the map. You are no longer passive, and you then become a high value target. So everybody basically goes after these people, and that's including if you're not in passive mode. As soon as you pick it up, you become a blip on the map, so people try and get that gear from you. Now this brings more excitement, but I can see some downfalls in terms of the size of the servers are very small. So basically you could be overrun with agents, especially if we up it to 16 like we've just said. So maybe it will need some work. Of course, I'm not a game developer. I don't work for Redstorm. These are just my ideas that I kind of hope like Terry Spear, Hamish, all the devs will actually look at in a serious manner, because I think that these are quite reasonable. I don't know how easy they are to put into practice. Like I say, I am not a developer. I'm not anything to do with developing the game. These are just my opinions, and I hope that you share some of the same opinions. So on top of the passive mode, yeah, so when you start off an extraction, if you're in passive mode, it takes you out of passive mode for 30 seconds. Okay, so people get 30 seconds to come to you. Now that's 30 seconds could be like the last half of the extraction. Once you've put your stuff on the rope, people have 30 seconds to come and cut the rope. So that's another point. I think this will help because people that want to just stay passive, they want to level up in the Dark Zone, they'll still get their general drops that you can collect straight away rather than extracting. You can extract standard gear, just not the PvP or DZ. I keep saying PvP, but DZ specific gear. So the next thing I want to touch on is Dark Zone only gear. So loot that can only be dropped in the Dark Zone. Now in terms of this, I've kind of looked a little bit into it, and I think it'd be quite simple to do. I don't think it'd be quite hard. I think it'd actually be easy for them to implement. So when I'm talking about DZ only gear, I'm talking about gear that you can only drop in the Dark Zone. So these are gear sets or gear pieces that will only allow you to get them if you are in the Dark Zone. Now some of these will be available in passive mode. Others won't be available in passive mode. Okay, so like the exotics I mentioned earlier would take you out of passive mode. Now these pieces of gear should reflect on Dark Zone. So the Dark Zone talents, instead of having sort of enemy armor damage, this would have, say, for an example, 10% more weapon damage to rogue agents. But you then receive 5% more damage from rogue agents, etc. So the actual talents and attributes will attribute towards PvP play or Dark Zone specific play. So it would mean sort of, I don't know, if you are rogue and you have this gear set on, you can kind of run 2% faster or reload 50% quicker. So something to benefit the actual gameplay within the Dark Zone. Yes, they're going to be pretty pointless on the outside of the Dark Zone because the talents won't be active, but you have enough slots to just do a PvP only build. So these could be healer supporter build roles to make the Dark Zone more team orientated. So it could be like there's a gear set coming out, instant med kits. There could be something like a combat medic. When you pop that on this gear set, your whole team gets a certain % of heal, etc. So basically, yeah, just Dark Zone drops that make people go into the Dark Zone. You have to go into the Dark Zone to get them. It's going to increase people's interaction with the Dark Zone. It's also going to make it more fun. Like, it's going to be fun. New exotics, new gear, go in there, get it, you know. People are going to be helping people get it. You know, it's going to be so cool. It just, some little changes like this can mean a big difference to the whole gaming experience for a lot of the players, including PvE players now. Like, PvE players, they like going after commendations. They like going after different pieces of gear, playing the story mode. Just integrate all of that in with the Dark Zone as well. It's not just a PvP area. let's get us some loot that's just DZ specific. So if you want to go in there and you want to enjoy it and you want to get this loot, you have to put up with the consequences of this. So now moving on to teamwork. Now, we all know that going in the Dark Zone with a team is pretty good. It's good for the game to see the community getting together and working together as a team. It's also good just generally to meet new people, etc. But what if the Dark Zone actually benefited you more going in as a team? So you get team buffs. Now these buffs, I'm just going to throw some ideas. Obviously they're not set in stone, but so when you're in a team, if you've got a 2-player team or a 2-man team, you get 2% weapon damage each, plus 2% weapon damage. If it's 3 players, you get the 2% weapon damage plus 5% armor for all 3 of you. If there's 4 players, you then get the 2% weapon damage, 5% armor, and 10% reload speed. Now, they're just examples, okay? So 2% weapon damage is not a lot, I know. And same as 5% armor is not really a lot. But just something to an incentive just to get in a team, matchmake, you know? Become a team, and then it also gives you a chance at having good PvP action. It also gives you a chance of farming PvE a lot easier. So with the buffs, they work on NPCs as well. So it's kind of just a way of bringing the community together more, more interaction together, you know, and to have more fun as a team. So you don't get punished as such if you are not in a team. But I mean, it's always a benefit to be in a team, which it should be. It should always be a benefit to have more than just yourself in a team. So let's show that by doing this for, you know, for teamwork. Let's like applaud the teamwork. Let's reward people that work in a team. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Do not forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button along with the notification bell if you would like to see more of my Division 2 content, as well as content on tech reviews, unboxings and different games. We're going to be a very diverse gaming channel. However, we will be focusing a lot on Division 2 because, of course, I am a Division veteran, even though I'm not a Division 2 veteran because I kind of didn't like the direction the game was going in, so I did stop playing it for a while. But I'm still doing videos to help everybody else, to help the community. So also in the comment section below, let me know 2 changes that you would make to the Dark Zone. Now these can be any 2 changes, and what I'll do is I'll pick 2 of these changes and I'll feature them in my next video, which should be releasing in around a week's time. So guys, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.